You know ChatGPT can be a great brainstorming tool, but if you don't give it enough context, it's really not that much different from Google. But even with just a few lines of information about you, it can start to uncover business ideas you never would have thought of. So to help out, I built this fully customizable prompt template. It's free. You can download a copy through the link in the description. And I just want to show you how powerful it can be. I had my friend Allison go through this, just 5 prompts: skills, interests, perceived expertise, constraints, and income goals. And you're going to get dramatically better results than if you're just watching YouTube videos hoping to land on some killer idea. Now, here's what's probably not super surprising. I've interviewed over 600 successful side hustlers, and almost no one says they came up with their idea by Googling for side hustle ideas and scrolling down into number 17 on the list and saying, bingo, that's the one for me. Far more often it comes from some intersection or overlap of your ideas, your interests, your network, and then pairing that with a pain or problem in the marketplace that people are paying money to solve. So Allison filled this out with her skills, and she followed these different prompts, and what it did at the bottom, and she entered these like in full sentence form, and if there's multiple sentences starting, that's just how this sheet is structured for best practices. But then it's going to give you this copy and paste prompt that you can, it's going to pull everything together and give you just single copy and paste prompt that you can post into ChatGPT. And so it looks like this, and this is what it came up with for Allison with just those few lines of context. See if I can zoom in on this a little bit. It suggested money coaching, and it is giving even potential pricing packages. It is giving kind of the math. She said her goal was, $1,000 to $2,000 a month. Hey, that's going to equal 8 to 12 clients at this price point. And by the way, we think you can get this done in, 4 to 6 hours a week. It's even giving kind of, marketing suggestions right here. It is really interesting from that point. Allison also said she, was a confident public speaker in giving presentations, so that was another thing that it suggested. It said she was reasonably productive and can help people with time blocking, so that was another thing that it came up with. It had a content example about personal finance, since that's kind of what space or what she likes talking about, and then kind of this decluttering mindset and stuff like that, or this accountability subscription, which is kind of fun because I actually came across a business called Boss as a Service, which that kind of reminded me of that. Hey, 20 clients, $100 a month. Now you're at $2,000 a month, and maybe there's a way to automate this. And so my guess is at least some of these were ideas that you never would have considered otherwise. I'm really curious to see what comes back on your list. But then you can go back and forth, and it's giving you a 6-month roadmap here. It's all really cool. But then you can come back and say, well, you know what, on second thought, I really don't want to do any one-on-one coaching. What else have you got for me? I'm looking for something a little more creative. And so then it comes back with a content business. It even gives some cool creative content examples, 5-minute fix, fix my budget makeover. I think that's kind of really cool. There was one down here that I really like, this challenge that it came up with. Budget autopsies. That was really cool. A money in life newsletter. And then this like decluttered 30-day challenge, one tiny task per day for 30 days. Like stuff like this, I think could really, really resonate. And so what that might end up looking like, and there was another digital product one. Yeah, create and sell digital tools and templates. Declutter in a weekend, 7-day challenge. So really cool. And it's like doing a little bit of the next step brainstorming of like, how many of these do you need to sell? At what price point do you need to go? Do you need to reach your goal, and how are you going to launch? But where it really comes in is in the next kind of phase is where these ideas probably aren't going to be home runs out of the gate, but it's a conversation starter, and it probably will unlock things that you didn't think of. So you can ask ChatGPT like we did, what else do you have? Any other ideas for me? You can ask it to ask you questions on figuring out which idea I'll actually stick with. What are the risks? Are any of these better for recurring revenue? You can even point it back like, hey, knowing what you know about me, which one would you choose? And there's some fun stuff. Once you've narrowed it down, you can even ask for give me a realistic 30-day plan. You can ask it to do competitive research. You can ask it to say, how am I going to make my first $1,000? And it becomes a really, really, almost like a side hustle co-founder in a way. So I encourage you to check this out, play around with it, because I'm confident you'll uncover some stuff that you never would have thought of otherwise. And I really have enjoyed playing around with it and some of the back and forth here. Make sure to grab a copy of that template for yourself and start playing around with it. See what kind of business ideas and new income streams that might unlock for you. That link is in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more money-making ideas. Cheers.